many things I want to try, my lady.
Asake has finally released Money, and honestly, this may be the most misunderstood album of his career so far. The title makes you expect an album full of money talk, flexing, luxury and street motivation. But after listening carefully, this project actually sounds more like a spiritual and emotional journey than a money album. Asake spends more time talking about gratitude, forgiveness, prayer and self-reflection than wealth itself. And that is what makes this album interesting. At the same time, this project also exposes one major problem in Asake's music right now. The production is incredible, but the songwriting feels weaker than ever. Today we are breaking down the highs, the flaws and why Money may become Asake's most replayable album in years. Before the album dropped, the rollout felt confusing. The singles did not really explain the direction of the project. But once Worship featuring DJ Snake came out, it became clear that Asake was trying to make a more spiritual album. Songs like Forgiveness, Amen, and Gratitude continue that same energy throughout the project. Instead of sounding like an artist trying to dominate clubs, Asake sounds like somebody trying to reconnect with himself and with God while dealing with fame. That emotional angle gives the album a different feeling from his previous projects.
Praise be to God, no matter your condition.
Multiple standout songs. One thing I noticed immediately is that this album has more than one song capable of staying with listeners. After Mr. Money with the Vibe, Asake's next albums mostly revolved around one massive song each. Work of Art had Lonely at the top, while Lungo Boy was heavily carried by MMS featuring Wizkid. But Money feels more balanced. Forgiveness, Gratitude, Worship, and Amen all have strong replay value.
Forgiveness, Father, forgive me, forgive my.
These songs may not become the loudest club records, but emotionally they connect better than some of Asake's previous material. Forgiveness especially stands out because Asake openly talks about mistakes, broken relationships, and asking God for mercy. That level of honesty is rare in his music. The strongest part of this album is easily the production. This project sounds expensive from beginning to end. The mixing, mastering, and instrumentation are all top tier. Magicsticks once again proves why he remains so important to Asake's sound. But the album also benefits from contributions from producers like Kabza De Small, P. Prime and DJ Snake. One of the best production moments comes on Roba, where Asake samples Tupac's Do For Love, which originally sampled Bobby Caldwell's What You Won't Do For Love. That sample adds nostalgia and emotional depth to the record immediately. The production across this album feels global while still keeping Asake's street pop identity alive.
Too many girls coming by a king. Can't stop working, I be my machine. But since 1995, put them nigga on my side.
Now let us talk about the biggest problem with Money. The lyrics are very lightweight. A lot of these songs are built around short verses, repetitive choruses, and long instrumental sections. Sometimes it feels like the producers did more work than Asake himself. If you are somebody who values deep storytelling and detailed songwriting, this album may disappoint you. Asake introduces themes like spirituality, gratitude, and forgiveness, but many times he does not explore them deeply enough. It almost feels like he allowed the beats to carry the emotions while he focused mainly on melodies and vibes. Despite the weak lyricism, this album may actually have Asake's best replay value in years. Songs like Forgiveness, Amen, and Gratitude have emotional themes that make listeners want to return to them repeatedly. The music feels calmer and more reflective than his earlier work. And that emotional atmosphere helps the album last longer after the first listen. Money is not Asake's best written album, but it may be his most emotionally mature project yet. The production is excellent. The spiritual direction feels genuine. And even though the lyrics are shallow at times, the emotional message still comes through clearly. This album sounds like an artist trying to understand himself after becoming one of the biggest stars in African music. And honestly, that makes Money one of the most interesting projects Asake has released so far. What do you think about Asake's Money album? Do you think the production makes up for the weak lyricism? Or do you think Asake needs stronger songwriting moving forward? Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more Nigerian music reviews and album breakdowns.